So, the house divided against itself cannot stand is pretty much the house or the Speaker of the House, or I guess one of the senators. I'm not quite sure. Anyway, he goes on to say that if we first know where we are and whether we are tending, we could better judge what to do and how to do it. We are not far from the 5th year since a policy was initiated with the avowed object of confidence, promise of putting an end to slavery aggregation. Under the operation of policy, that aggregation has not only ceased, but has constantly augmented. In my opinion, it will not cease until a crisis shall have been reached and passed. A house divided against itself cannot stand. I believe this government cannot endure permanent half slave and half free. I do not expect the Union to be dissolved. I do not expect the house to fall. But I do expect it will cease to be divided. It will become all one thing or all the other. Either the opponents of slavery will arrest the further spread of it and place it where the public mind shall rest, in the brief belief that it is in the course of ultimate execution, or its advocate will push it forward and shall become like a lawful in all states, old as well as new, north as well as south. Now it goes on to continue to say about how it started the act of freeing slaves started when Mr. Buchanan was elected president, which I believe it actually did start then, like towards the end of his term. It also brings in the Nebraska bill. It also brings in how there was a slave owner that took his slave from territory to, like, slave territory to a free territory to one that was, like, in the middle of both, and had that enslaved person, there for a while. And this enslaved person was named Dred Scott. And so that decision actually wound up going through the Supreme Court. I'm not quite sure how that came about, or what the decision was. But this speech was a lot longer than the Emancipation Proclamation and the Gettysburg Address. This was actually a speech delivered by Abraham Lincoln on June 16th, 1858, at the Illinois Republic State Convention to an audience of around 1,000. Lincoln issued these statements in acceptance of his nomination to run as the Republican candidate for a U.S. Senate seat in 1858 election. Prior to the 1854, Lincoln identified as a Whig, serving in the Illinois House of Representatives for 4 terms and the U.S. House of Representatives for 1 term. He left politics in 1850 to resume his career as a lawyer, but re-entered the field as a Republican after the passage of the Kansas-Nebraska Act, expanding slavery and dissolving the Whig Party. He ultimately lost the 1858 Illinois senatorial election to the incompetent Democrat Stephen A. Douglas. However, Lincoln successfully won the presidency in 1860, thanks to the notoriety he obtained from both the House Divided speech and the 1858 Lincoln-Douglas debates. But yeah, if you want to read more about the Emancipation Proclamation and the House Divided speech, I'm sure you can find it online and at your local library or any place like that. But I will see you in the next one.